We're going to start by talking about the DC Defenders. And just to let you know, the quarterbacks in their room, as we're recording this right now, the quarterbacks is Jordan Ta'amu, Jalen McClendon, and then DeAndre Francis, however you pronounce that. But those are the three guys in the room. Rob, who do you think out of these three guys, who do you think is going to be the starter? And what should we know about him?
The starter for sure for the DC Defenders will be Jordan Ta'amu. Ta'amu was with the Defenders last year, and he was an absolute stud. I think he was voted Offensive Player of the Year for the XFL. He was great with his legs. He was great with his arm. He was absolutely dominant. And he was the reason the Defenders were favored much of the year to be in the title game for the XFL. Jalen McClendon was on the Vegas Vipers last year, who were not very good, and McClendon was a big part of that, sadly. He was very young. He is very young. He's kind of inexperienced. His play style, he has a big arm, but that's about it. He can't really read a defense. There's a lot of things he can't do that Jordan Ta'amu very obviously can. As for the third guy, I have never really heard of him before. I don't think he's made much of an impact in spring football or really anywhere. So I doubt he is much competition for Ta'amu at the top spot. So I think Ta'amu is pretty much a safe bet there for the DC Defenders to be their quarterback one.
Absolutely. And Ta'amu's also had experience in the USFL when he played for the Tampa Bay Bandits the first kind of year the USFL launched out 3 years now ago. Unfortunately, that team, after one season, they kind of transformed into the Memphis Showboats last season of the USFL. And Ta'amu did not follow. He actually went to the XFL, but still competent quarterback play that we saw not only when he played for the Bandits in the USFL, but also for the DC Defenders. I agree with Rob. I think this guy is going to be the number one guy moving forward. What's going to be interesting, though, and something that I think could be fascinating to watch what the DC Defenders do is last season in the XFL, the DC Defenders had Jordan Ta'amu as kind of their passing guy. And he was very good in the pocket. Of course, his legs are decent. But they also had a guy, Derek King, I believe was his name. And he was big on in the red zone running the football in terms of being that quarterback, that kind of dual quarterback that, his passing was okay, but his legs was really where it was at for him. And they were able to do kind of a dual quarterback system in a way where they utilized, I should say, Jordan Ta'amu's abilities leading drives. But when it got to the red zone, we saw King in there mixing it up. Well, Jalen McClendon is he's very good with his legs. And we saw that in Vegas, where he was able to extend plays with his legs. It'll be very interesting if the Defenders are going to be doing something similar as they did with Ta'amu and King, if Ta'amu and McClendon are going to be kind of maybe not in those like distinct roles of, okay, you're running, you're throwing, but seeing a dual quarterback system on some drives just to mix it up. We could absolutely see kind of that ability moving forward. So that's something certainly to keep in mind.
Yeah, for sure. McClendon was definitely, I think, honestly, I would say he was better with his legs than he was with his arm last year in Vegas. I could definitely see the Defenders utilizing him kind of in the same sort of way for, read options and stuff like that in the red zone. I would not be surprised at all. But I think their main guy, their number one guy for sure this year will be Jordan Ta'amu.
Thank you for joining us on the Redzone Rodeo podcast.
If you like football and you like having fun, come on down and subscribe and check out our channel for more videos like this one.
No ifs, ands, or buts. This is the best place for your football news.